Hello, 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 hello. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope that your day is going by splendid, 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 splendid. Today I have kind of the fun thing. I figure we can listen and go to Reddit. I am in the subreddit called Am I the Asshole? And no, that's not tricky special effects. I can just do that on command, so be impressed, it's okay. I understand. But this subreddit, it's called Am I the Asshole? And basically, sorry, just probably marveling at my ability to do that. It's okay. It's okay. People do it all the time. But, sorry, basically, I don't know what that bit is, but it's actually a really entertaining, it's a really, really entertaining subreddit. So I thought we could go through together, me and you, me and you, me and you, us together, and we could go through the subreddit. And basically, there'll be some surprise tingles on this one if people are trying to impress somebody. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna go through the titles, and I'm gonna pick one that seems invigorating and exciting. So please join me. Let's do this together. Okay. So Okay, this is an interesting one. Am I the asshole for yelling at my girlfriend to stop eating? Okay, stop effing eating is what I'm going to say. Am I the asshole for yelling at my girlfriend to stop effing eating? That sounds like you might be off the title alone. I don't know, they sometimes clickbait you. We'll see, let's see. My male 26 sister, female 23, runs a bakery business, and she's been struggling lately to keep up with the orders because she's been short-staffed. She does a lot of orders for wedding cakes that require custard or marmalade fillings, and I offered to help her out by making these fillings at home and bringing them to her so that she has less work to do. Unfortunately, the past 4 times I've made these fillings, my girlfriend has literally dipped her fingers into the filling jars and contaminated them because, in her words, she just wanted to try some. Oh no, Mabel. I've tried explaining to her that she can't dip her fingers in and contaminate the entire batch because then I have to remake it. I said she should use a spoon and take some that if she wants to try so bad. But she just pouts and says that she likes using her fingers because it takes her back to her childhood. Today I was trying to finish some chocolate custard to send it to my sister really fast because she was running late on a wedding cake order for an important client. I told my girlfriend beforehand not to eat the custard, and if she really wanted to please use a spoon. I get out of the shower, and what do I see? She has her fingers in it again. I totally lost it because this is the 5th time she blatantly disregarded what I said. And I yelled at her and told her to stop effing eating the food I'm making because it's not for her and she's contaminating it. She started crying and got mad at me for fat shaming her even though I made no comment on her weight. And she has no history of weight issues or eating disorders. I know I was harsh, but she kept pushing my limits. Am I the asshole? Well, oh my gosh, the first comment. First off, what do you guys think? Do you think that he is in fact the asshole? I don't even know why. Do I even have to censor? Does YouTube even care? For a small channel like me? I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing it because I know why I do it. I forgot for a second. The reason I do it is because I think swear words are jarring and they don't feel relaxing when I'm trying to relax. That's why I do it. I don't really care if people do. I just remember watching videos and when people swear, I'm like, ooh, I don't know why, that just takes me out of it. Anyways, the first comment on this is, does she also wear a diaper and draw on the walls with crayons because it reminds her of her childhood? he says that, not the asshole. Not the jerk. I'll just say jerk. It's easier than, honestly. That's so funny. Wow. I would say not the jerk because respecting each other's boundaries in a relationship is very important. So, if you can't respect your partner's wishes and listen to them, in things like this, that's kind of a red flag. Yeah, I don't know. There's some times where, like, if you really need something and you both have wishes that contradict each other, you can find a compromise, but that is, yeah, I mean, okay, here's just a thought off the top of my head. If you want to compromise, what he could do is then take a little bit from a spoon and put it on the side for her, then use her finger. And it's like, it kind of feels like letting her win, but it's like, if you're in a relationship, you can compromise and things like that. If it's not a big deal to him, he could do that. And if she then still doesn't want to do it, then she's not willing to compromise. So that's one way you could do it. The other way of compromising is she could use a spoon, and whatever works for them. Obviously, the spoon is not working, so this is, that's really annoying. But, yeah, definitely he's not the jerk, I would say. That is rough. Okay, here's another one. There's a lot of relationship ones on here. Am I the jerk for demanding my girlfriend tells me her author's pen name? I, male 32, have been dating. I don't know how to say his name. I'm just gonna say Sarah. She's 32 for 6 months now. She's always been very vague about what she does for a living. Says things like writing and working from home writing. But recently, one of her friends mentioned something and I finally dragged it out of her. She's an author. She writes and self-publishes romance and erotica stories and novels. And while not rich, she's able to make a living out of it. That's pretty sick. That's awesome. I googled her name and couldn't find anything, so I confronted her about this. She said she's writing under a pen name, so I demanded she gives... author's pen name. She demanded she's writing under a pen name, so I demanded she gives it to me so I know what she does. Okay, not gonna judge till we get to the end. She refuses, saying she doesn't want it leaked even by accident, and no one knows. I accused her of not trusting me, and she still refuses, which is really annoying. I tried a nicer approach and told her that I want to know her fantasies so I can try it out with her, and she told me that what she writes aren't her fantasies but her readers, and she's still not going to tell me. At night, I tried to check her laptop for a pen name, but she changed her password before bed. I was annoyed and told her she clearly doesn't trust me, and it's not fair because I have a right to know what she writes, especially since it's a sensitive topic and I don't know her. If I don't know her pen name. She was furious. I tried to look on her laptop and she told me to go home. Before leaving, I told her that when she calls to apologize, I expect her to get her pen name with apology. She called me a jerk on my way out. I thought she'd call by now, but she hasn't. My sister told me that I was a jerk and I should apologize, but I don't see it. And I need a second opinion. Was I the jerk? Ooh, okay. So what do you guys think? Think about your answer first. One thing I found about these things is I actually tend to be so silly and I just assume that the person, I can't think of it objectively. I think of it subjectively from the person's point of view. So try not to do that and try to think, what would you think in this situation? Because the first comment is that they are the jerk. They are commenting on the line, I have a right to know what she writes. They said, based on what you want to know what she writes. Don't confuse that with having any sort of right to the information. Yeah. Someone mentions that saying that you have a right to know what she writes is like a red flag. They said that, oh yeah, you're the jerk. Well, you're just a walking red flag. Demanding, controlling, and feels like it's your right to snoop. That's just grim. Enjoy being single. You're the jerk with bells on. She wants to write erotica from the safety of an double jerk for expecting an apology. If she were here, half the sub, more like 95%, would be urging her to dump your controlling butt. That would probably dox her in the event of a messy breakup. Yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think of that because he seems so demanding and needing a pen name that he could use it against her. Because he's very, I don't know. This is a funny comment. I can't believe she doesn't trust me, he said, as he attempted to break into her laptop. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Oh, I actually love it. I love this subreddit. Oh wow, you are the jerk, and I hope she doesn't ever call you again. She has very good reasons to not trust you. You are manipulative, and you tried to lie about wanting to try out her fantasies. Then you tried to violate her privacy by looking in her laptop. And you are definitely judgy about what she does. And the piece de resistance, you think she's going to be sorry that you left. She's probably grateful, not sorry. Okay, so my problem is, usually when I listen to stuff like this, I'm so enveloped in the person writing that I just side with them. Because the first thing I was hearing was like, yeah, why don't you trust me? Like, of course, but I'm thinking of it from my perspective where I feel like I am trustworthy, but I also need to recognize that if it's not about like a trust thing, it's about respect more so. I guess this is turning into dating advice. In my head, it's not like a trust thing, it's more of a respect thing. So it's not that she doesn't trust you, it's obviously she has wishes to be anonymous and doesn't want it leaked by accident, which she said. So you then have the option to be trusting of her and to fully trust her. That and what she writes. You know, I understand it seems like he might be worried that she's like writing something about him, or I don't know, but he said a sensitive topic, so I don't know, maybe he thinks he's in it. But like, just trust her that it's gonna be okay and safe, because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I tend to side with whoever's writing because I'm kind of silly up here, I feel like. Ooh, interesting. This one is, am I the jerk for refusing to get a job and pay rent at my parents' house? Okay, let's think. See, right off the bat, I would say you're probably lazy. But that's my assumption. Let's see. I had my 18th birthday 3 days ago. On the day after my birthday, my stepdad told me he wants me to start paying rent to live in his house. My stepdad is quite Christian and conservative. Okay. I don't expect to live rent-free forever, but I know my stepdad is coming from a spiteful place. He and my mom have 2 kids in 9 years of marriage. I'm not his own, and I'm a reminder that his wife was a non-virgin divorced woman before him. Okay. So of course I'm being treated like a guest, and my mom is allowing it because she thinks that she shines. Oh, because she thinks the sun shines out of his ass. Nice. Out of his butt. He doesn't need my money to pay rent. Plus, I don't have much, and he wants 100 euros per month. We still have lots of time for this. But I bet his own kids won't be paying rent while they're in school. Okay, I see. Oh, and she's in school. Okay. My A-level exams, UK school system, start mid-April and last up to July. I'm doing STEM subjects, and I'm hoping to fulfill my offer for a medicine course at a good university. I'm aiming for A+, which will take a lot of studying, and if I have to get a job, it will be difficult to maintain that level of studying that I need to do. I'm literally moving out in September. I don't know. So it honestly just feels vindictive, and it's not like I'm unproductive. I'm trying to save the money I had left from my last job for when I move out too, and paying my stepdad 800 euros when he doesn't even need it feels spiteful, and like he's punishing me and making my life harder for being born. Basically, my aunt, who isn't fond of him, said that he's being ridiculous and told me to come live with her. Her house is an hour away, but my school is in the middle. She said she has a guest room free so I can save my money for uni. This benefits me most, so I took her up on the offer. My mother keeps crying that I'm leaving already, so my stepdad is annoyed. We got into an argument where he said he's just treating me like a tenant to prepare me for the real world. So I said, do tenants not have the right to leave? Which annoyed him further. My stepdad says I'm hurting my mother and taking resources from my aunt because I'm too entitled to pay rent. This is just what's best for me. I said I'd visit. Am I the jerk? And then they offered that they think they're the jerk because I refused to get a job and pay rent so I could focus on my studies by instead moving in with my aunt who will let me live rent-free. I could be the jerk because my mother is hurt by my actions and I am of the age of paying rent wherever I live. Okay, so first, what do you think? Do you think they're being lazy? Do you think, because I initially think they're being lazy, but I kind of feel like it's a different situation now. But will other people think the same? That's the question. I don't know. So let's see. Oh, first person says, you're not the jerk. Actions meet consequences. Your stepdad is trying to flex on you and his power play backfired. Your mother may be crying, but let him do it. But she let him do it. That house is half hers, and so is the decision to charge you rent. She's not blameless here. Your aunt's resources are none of your dad's business. Okay, well, yeah. Not the jerk. You're not the one upsetting your mom. Your stepdad is. You're just being pragmatic and finding a solution to the problem he caused. He's a jerk for making you pay rent when you're still at college. Your mom is a jerk for letting him treat you badly and then being upset when you find a solution. You're not trying to fall out with your family, but ultimately you've got to do what's best for you and your long-term goals. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Interesting. Man, it's hard to... Okay. Whoa. There's some interesting ones here. Here we go. Am I the jerk for screaming at my pregnant fiance for not helping me find my dog who had run off? Okay. Pregnant fiance. Okay, I don't even want to read this one because most of the time it's just men who don't understand pregnancy and how much it really takes. And they think it's just you're sitting at home. And sorry, ones like that frustrate me, so I don't want to read it. Because me and my sister talk about that a lot, and I just irks my soul. Okay. Gosh. Okay, what about this one? Am I the jerk for telling my fiance that my friend's trauma is more important than her comfort? Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. I don't know. The title's pretty ambiguous. How long is this one? Okay, not too bad. My best friend lost a parent a year and a half ago, which led him to a mental health crisis. Our friend group has been picking up the pieces ever since. He's doing much better now that he's in therapy, but he's definitely gone through it. What has complicated matters worse is my fiance. It goes without saying that I love her, but she is the definition of a busybody sometimes. My best friend is a very private person. She knows something happened with him, but she doesn't know the details of what that something is. She probably never will. But because she's around me and my friends often as my fiance, because she's around me and my friends as often as my fiance and I live in the same house, there we go. She hears bits and pieces of the story and presses for more information. I try to circumvent as best as I can. For example, I step out of the room for specific phone conversations, but still it's hard to limit the discussion about it sometimes. If it's necessary, we bring it up and she's around in person. We'll refer to the Nolan situation without giving specifics. Nolan will also stop by my place at night when she can't sleep. This doesn't happen all that often, maybe twice a month. He'll text me or call me saying he's outside. I'll go sit with him and maybe smoke a little bit, and then head home. And then he'll head home. I wait up until I know he's got home safely, and then I go back to sleep. My fiance hates this. She claims the phone calls always wake her up, just sometimes happens to wake up for the bathroom while I'm outside, and that me not being in bed is alarming. She brings us to last night. Nolan stopped by, and when I came back inside, my fiance said she was putting a stop to it. She said all the sneaking around is making her paranoid. She doesn't feel like she can properly trust me or be a part of my friend group without knowing the details, and that Nolan needs to stop relying on me so much. I told her that no matter whether we're married, dating, whatever, she will never have any ownership over my friend's trauma, and that she was never going to be able to order me around in regards to it. I also said her comfort was less important than someone's actual physical well-being, and she was obviously hurt by this and went to stay with her mom after work today. Okay. There's an edit. She knows Nolan lost a parent. She doesn't know the aftermath beyond the statement he had a mental health crisis. Yes, he has specifically asked me not to tell her. Okay. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Okay, so think about what you would do, because I know what I would think in this situation. It's like a trust thing, and I would be like, maybe you're not the jerk because of trust, but I don't know. Because I'm too much, I side with the person too easily, because they make a compelling argument. I can't think of it from an objective perspective. Okay, so. Okay, first comment. You're the jerk. Dang it, I was wrong. So we should make this a guessing game, because I don't know. Imagine everyone code talking around you, your fiance stepping out to take phone calls, and having a secret meetups in the middle of the night that you can't ask about. Being excluded and made to wonder to that degree would make anyone crazy. If she came here, I'd tell her to leave you immediately. Whoa. Dang. Okay. I didn't even think about it like that. Okay. Here's the thing, man. Okay. Your fiance is going to be the most important person in your life, your partner. And while it's true that it's up to Nolan what he shares and whom he shares with, it does sound like you're cutting her out of the situation to a degree that's problematic. Okay, interesting. You are not your friend's therapist. There is no doctor-patient privilege. This is not your job, nor is it classified information. If my significant other was frequently getting up late at night because of a non-mutual friend meeting needed the equivalent of being tucked into bed multiple times a month, it would eventually begin to bother me as if I was in the loop. As if I was not in the loop. Interesting. You're the jerk. It's one thing to want to respect your friend's privacy, but when you're so involved that he's just showing up to the house you share unannounced, your fiance deserves to know why. Dang. That's crazy. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, last one, and then we're done. Because this seems problematic. Am I the jerk for telling my son that he's obviously gay? Oh gosh. Let's see. I don't know. My son, 17, has apparently been in the closet for the past 7 months. So my son is fairly masculine, straight, acting as if that makes sense. Wait. Oh, so my son is fairly masculine / straight, acting, if that makes sense. However, he's obviously had a boyfriend for the past 7 months. He sometimes baby talks to this boy, hugs him all the time. He's called him handsome, share clothes, sits way too close to each other to the point where they are basically cuddling. He closes his bedroom door when with him, but not any other friends. Sees him like every day, buys him gifts, and for the past 7 months, he now always smells great, has his hair fixed really nice, and dresses nicer, among other things. Today, I asked my son if he was going to invite his boyfriend on our trip, and he got awkward and said, "That's not funny." I asked what he meant, and he said, "I'm straight, that's not funny." I laughed, and when I realized he was serious, I started laughing even harder. Oh, I told him he was very obviously in a relationship with a guy and did a terrible job at hiding it. He got emotional and started asking me not to tell his dad. My husband already knows. Like I said, it was obvious. Then he got upset, saying outed him when he wasn't ready. He hasn't said a word to me in a couple days. Oh, okay, then the person said I could have been the jerk because I should have been more sensitive about the situation and had a sit-down talk about a sexuality relationship with this boy. Okay. Honestly, I think outing someone like that, yeah, you're the jerk. And you're not being respectful about it, because like the words that they were using, like sitting way too close, things like that, is almost homophobic. I feel like, I guess you would say that about a straight relationship, but only if you're not okay with it. So it kind of seems homophobic. I don't. It seems like they're upset because they're gay. I don't know. Never mind. Yeah. First comment. You're the jerk. He might not have realized how obvious it was, and it's obviously a scary time for him. And you laughed at him. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're his mother, and he should be able to count on you for support in times when he's scared, not ridicule. As a gay man, some of y'all need to get over yourselves. Oh, interesting. They said not the jerk. Oh, interesting. There's actually quite a few people saying he's not the jerk. Interesting. Okay. I guess let me know what you guys think if you want. That's interesting. That one's kind of back and forth. A lot of people said the jerk, but some people didn't. So, interesting. I don't know. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that was entertaining. I hope you liked it. If you want more of like Reddit stuff, just let me know. I don't know. This is kind of a fun subreddit. Maybe I'll do a little more pre-planning next time and find ones that are like juicy.